Wowee, folks. Well, my video on rebuilding a what is this? Bunn coffee makes CW TF15 has gotten a lot of reception from you guys. This just happens to be another one that I've gone over, and I've gotten a lot of questions from a lot of people on several things of this Bunn machine. So today we wanted to go through a couple of the main things that you want to take care of when you purchase one of these things. This will go up for sale shortly, and it's all kind of gone through and cleaned up and all that kind of fun stuff. There's not much that you need to do with these machines, but a lot of people have gone through and asked, what about the electrics? What about I have a leak? What are the common things that you have to look out for? So what I want to do today is get into the machine itself, try to get some close-up stuff, show you guys, and really kind of delve into this. So a couple of the tools that you're going to need is very simple. These are very easy to take apart. One is a screwdriver. This just happens to be a strap-on screwdriver with a straight bit. And the other one is a, 15/16 bit to take the tray off. So let's just take it apart and let's see what we got here. Alright, so we're going to take our straight. There is one screw that's in the front of these. Okay, to take this off. The one thing about this 15 series, comes in several different flavors. This just happens to have a pour over in the front. But mine has just a block off gate on it. So we want to make sure that we take this little stainless steel screw. We're going to put it in our tray. Okay? Take the basket out. Do all of this, start this with the machine unplugged. It is not plugged in. Unplug your machine. Simply turning this off and on does not turn the machine off. There is a main switch that's on the back that will turn the machine off. But again, before you get into this machine, unplug it. You have to remember that there is 120 volts through here. It is not step down. It is not DC. This is 120 volts AC. You will get shocked. Unplug it. So, in order to remove the cap, so we take the screw out of the front, lift the front up and push back slightly. There is, okay, on the back of here there is a little hook. Okay, take that and just lay it against there. There is a connector that's back here. Let me show you this connector. Okay, there is this connector that's right here. Okay, do you see that connector? And this just has the factory tape on it. I don't take this apart because I can do what I need to do. But as you can see that little tab? That little tab fits into that slot on the back. Okay? And this is a plumbable machine. Okay? So the next we have to do is we have to take this tray out. So this tray is held in, okay, by, let's see if I can get you in a little better. Okay, by this nut here. And then here is the infill tube. Okay, so we're going to take the infill tube out. Okay. Be careful with this. Okay. So the infill tube comes out. Okay. That's in the back of this tray here. Okay. Now, let me put you back on. Holder. I'm going to take my 7/8. Okay. And I'm going to loosen this off. Alright, so I just switched over to a box end wrench, 7/8. This is a lot easier to take off. Okay. Alright, so we got this plug out, okay? This plug is for the water tray. Okay, so we take this off. You'll notice, be very, very careful. You see this ring here? Okay, if it is on there and you don't have another one, don't peel it off. This is silicone. So what happens is there's a couple of leak points here. There is one. There's a rubber O-ring that's back here. Okay, the O-rings on this one are in very good shape. But you can order these from Bunn. Okay, see that? That is an O-ring that fits in the inlet tube. Okay? And those rot. And this is a leak point as well. So if your Bunn leaks, okay, you'll know when it leaks because it'll come out. So what I always do, regardless, is get one of these and one of these. Because over time, they just fail. So what you'll notice is this drip tray. Okay, this is what fills up. So when you hit the start button on the front of this machine, this little hose that's here that's plumbed into the wall, okay, there is a relay that's in here that is on a timer. You have to set the timer. Now, the carafe, the Bunn carafes, and a lot of the other carafes are different in volume. So you have to make sure that when you do the timing on this, that you have the right carafes and the same carafes. One can't be a Bunn and the other one be Webster Restaurants if they're not the same in volume, because the Bunn has a little more volume than a lot of the other ones, and the other ones will overflow and you have coffee all over the place. So pay attention to these. Okay, that's the plug. Okay, this is the silicone ring that is meant to be replaced. This one is in great shape, so when I took this apart, this will also cake up with any type of slag with lime, so you can, if you have very heavy mineral deposited water, this is all stainless steel. You can take lime away on this, but this one has this one looks great, so we're going to stay with that. Alright, so we have the biggest question of all. My hot water doesn't work. Okay? So you have to remember that if you use the tray, if you use the pour over on here, the hot water will not work. The hot water only works as if you plumb it into the wall. Okay? There are two circuits that's in the boiler. Where the water is stored is called the... Alright, so you have to remember that there are a couple parts to this. When I can fill this up all day long and I have no hot water. As soon as you plumb this into here, you will have hot water. What happens with this is the thing that clogs these up, okay? There it goes. Okay, these. This you cannot get at Home Depot. Okay? This, if you look at this, okay, this is the screen. This screen will get all kinds of caked up crap in it. This has, you know, it's pretty yucky looking. You can go through here and clean this up, but what I would suggest is when you get one of these machines, just buy this assembly. Just buy it. Okay? And then you have this guard, and you want to put the guard back. Alright, so let's put this assembly back. Make sure that when you put it back, okay, that it goes back correctly. So we're going to put this up into here, put this up into here, and to tighten this down. This, I looked for this aerator. This aerator is not at Home Depot. You need to order it from Bunn. It is a specific size from Bunn itself. Again, remember, before you get into this machine, unplug it. Unplug it, unplug it, unplug it. Alright, so we have a leak point of the tray in the front and in the back. And that's it for that point. So let's position the camera a little different, and we will get into the electrical and another point of leaking with these machines. Okay, this is cool. So what we have is the infill tube that's here. Another part of leaking is if your infill tube, okay, this hose is kind of dry rotted. Another part of leakage is if you look around, this is the top of the boiler, okay? That tray, that plug fit into here, okay? So when you put your tray in, okay, the tray's on top, and you go to put this in, this is what you're screwing into. Alright? That's what you're screwing into. So this is the front of the machine. This is where all the buttons are. Again, turn the machine, unplug it from the wall. All of these circuits are live 120 volts. Unplug the machine. Okay, so that's all of the leak points that are on here. There is a silicone gasket that is in here, okay, that you take these screws out, you have to take out. This is the transfer wand from the top of the boiler. So when you pour water in, how this works is it enters into here. There's a tube that goes to the bottom of the boiler, and it displaces the hot water up through the boiler. That's what this is called. The hot water comes through here and out through the spray head. When your machine brews slowly, what happens is there is a scale buildup that is in this tube. You have to use a tool, and you have to take your spray head off, and it's called springing. The spring is about yay long. It's sold from Bunn. It goes through here and scrapes all of the crap out. The only way that you can do this, you have to do it when the machine is cold. If you spring this that has the hot water in here, you will get scolded. So make sure when you spring the machine that the machine is turned off and unplugged for at least 4 hours. Run another batch through here to make sure the water is cold. You have to remember the water coming out of this boiler should be almost 200 degrees. And when you go to spring this, okay, and that spring comes into here, it's going to displace whatever may be in this. So you might have a little that will come out and will scold you, okay? So what do we have in the electrics? It's a pretty simple thing, okay? So we have, the way that this machine works is you'll notice that there are two nuts that are here. This is the heating element. It's the exact same way to think about it as you work on your water heater. So in order to replace the heating element in here, you have to take out these. You have to undo, okay, all of the electric and the two pipes that are here. And you take this whole assembly out. This is the thermostat, okay, can you guys see that? This is the thermostat wire, okay, that regulates the temperature within the boiler. There are two heating elements that are in here. One is the main heating element that when you turn it on and you brew coffee, you'll hear it kind of rumble a little bit. That's the heating element that's in here. And then you have a boiler jacket heater. The boiler jacket heater does not keep the water at 200 degrees, but it keeps the shock load of cooling down and heating up of the temperature within that pretty steady. So what we have, a major fail point in these, okay, is two things. One, this is the LED for the front that's green, that shows you when the when the boiler is at ready temperature of what you have set. Okay, this is replaceable by these two connectors. This one is on its way out. I don't worry about the money that it costs to replace that little bulb is not worth it. I think it's 20 bucks or whatever. It's I know when it's done. Okay, so that comes back. you will notice on the top of the boiler here, you will have a blue wire. There's a couple of things that are in here. One is the thermistor at the top here. Okay. There should be two blue wires on one side and two white wires on the other. You'll notice on the heating elements, okay, the heating element has, where is it? Can I dig it out? Can I dig it out? Where is it? There it is. Okay. There it is. Okay, you will notice here, right here, can you guys see that? There is a connector that's here that goes into this device. Okay? Can you guys see that okay? Alright, can you guys see that? See, this comes in, and this is what's called the thermistor. Let me see if I can get that there. Can you guys see that? Okay, if you're not getting hot water, this is a device that's in here. This is meant to fail. Okay, this is a thermistor. Okay, this is the temperature for the regulator for the, this is, oh, it's not. I forgot what that part is called. This is not a huge failure point. But this is a failure point. This is the thermistor. Okay, if you notice that you're not getting hot water out of this machine, if you notice that you're getting kind of lukewarm machine, the lukewarm is from the jacket. Again, you can't go in here with the machine plugged in, so unplug the machine, please. Okay, this thermistor, okay, is meant to fail in the chance of overheating or electrical issues. This is a replaceable part. Okay, you will notice that all the blue wires, so there's a blue wire here that goes to this device that's here. I forget what they call it, but it's in there. And the rest, one is the thermistor that goes to there, and the other one is the, come on, there it is. This is the black wire. Okay, you'll notice that there it goes. Okay, so one goes to the thermistor, so the electricity comes in. Can you guys see that? Okay, okay. One comes in, power comes in. Okay, this is nearly this. What this is a power block. Think of that as a think of it as a power outlet strip. Okay, the power comes in, goes through the thermistor into another. Okay, goes out. Okay, to the light, and the power also goes to the one half of the heating element. The power then goes through the heating element, back out of the heating element, and through the rest of the circuitry. Okay? If you're not getting hot water, it's because of this thermistor. Okay? This, when you test this with your test leads unplugged, you should have a completed circuit. You should not have an open circuit. Okay? So you want to test for continuity on here. So you want to take this lead out of here and this lead off of here and put your test leads on either side. Okay. So you take your test leads. Okay. So you test from here and to here. Okay. You should have continuity. If you do not have continuity, that's bad. Okay. It's just that simple. It's very simple indeed. But on one side of the heating element, so from the heating element you should have your thermistor, which is the black wire, and another black wire that goes to the heating element. The heating element gets two black wires on one side. This device, of which I can't remember what it's called, okay, gets the blue wires. Okay. Then on the other side, you will notice gets a black to ground. So this is the other half, okay? So that goes down to the thermostat, okay? And then the other half of these connect, okay, down to the logic board itself. Okay? So you guys can take a look at that as much as you need to. Okay? You guys see that okay? All right. So a couple of things that you need to pay attention to is how deep that this this thermostat. Okay, there is a device. This is the temperature probe that is in the boiler itself. Okay, so that needs to go almost all the way down. It can't touch anything inside, or it will be completely wrong. So you want to make sure that this is almost to the bottom, but not touching. So you'll notice inside is two things. One, there's a coil. Okay, that coil takes the water for the Insta-Hot water. So there's a boiler that holds all the water for when you're brewing. And then there's another circuit with a coil. The coil contains water that when you go to select that hot water, okay, so you can see it right here. See this pipe right here? Okay, that goes over to the hot water spigot. Okay, so these are two separate circuits within the machine. Okay, so when you go to take this off, you will have a heating element, which just looks like a giant U, and then you'll have a squiggly thing that goes through here. And the squiggly thing is what holds the water into there as a passive circuit. So it's two separate circuits that are in the two. That's why if this is not plumbed, you will not get hot water. The hot water works on pressure of whatever the the building or your house is providing to it itself. And it's just that kind of simple. Let's get into a little bit, but that's the wiring stuff for it. This is a very clean machine. Super low hours. I didn't need to scope it. I didn't need to do any of that. So let's put this back together. All right. So what I'm going to try and do here is, if I can, I'll try to put this back together just like this for you. Okay? How's that sound? So we're going to take this, take our tray. Our tray just sits in there. Okay? There's nothing that really kind of holds it in but this nut. When you put this in, oops, okay, when you install this, you're not cranking it down like crazy. Okay, so we want to grab our 7/8 ratchet, and we're going to tighten this down. You want to be kind of careful with this, okay? I'm not... just want to snug it up past a little. Okay, that's on. Now we're going to take our inflow tube, okay, and we're going to put it into the rubber grommet, and we want to make sure that it goes through the fork. When you take yours off, you will see the fork, okay, and that can stay in there like that. And that's all there is to it. So when you hit the brew button, what will happen is water will come up this tube into this tray, and it fills this tray. And as it's filling the tray, it goes into this. It goes into the bottom of the boiler, and thus you have cold water coming in to the bottom while the hot water comes out of the boiler. It's just that simple. It's a wonderful design. They still do it to this day. It's a wonderful system. All right, so let's put the top on. Okay, again, we're going to take that hook it into the back. Want to be careful not to scratch that. All right, so take this. All right, let's take this and make sure you're not pinching any wires. Good. Now, you only want to tighten this top up just a scotch. Okay? And that's it, put back together. It's as simple as that. So let's take a look at some other portions of this machine, what you should look out for with your machine. Alright, so with your machine, you want to do a couple of things. One, okay, you want to take off the spray head. Okay, this is the spray head itself. This should be clean. Has a part number on it. The part number is G-078-000. Okay, these, okay, you want to make sure that these spray holes are clean. They will get clogged up with either coffee or with, if you have high minerals, these will get caked up with minerals. Just like I said earlier, when this brews slowly, is you want to go up into the spray head itself and stick the spring in and spring it, and you will notice a bunch of stuff will come out. Couple of things that you want to make sure of that when you get these is to clean the underside of this. Okay, you will notice that this, if you buy one, may have water still in the boiler. This one has a little bit of water left in the boiler, and then that should just screw right on. A couple of things, when you go to program this, there is a wonderful program video that I think Bunn has out, or somebody that does it far better than I can explain it to you. So let's take out these screws in the front.
Be careful, this is all stainless steel, so you don't want to be like hogging and wrenching on it.
Okay, so this machine, you'll notice, is super duper clean. So water comes in, okay, from the back. It comes in from where's it coming in? Okay, so water comes in on this one through this bottom tube right here. You'll notice that there is a manifold here. It comes up one half, okay, goes up into the hot water circuit. The other half goes into the drip tray itself. Okay. So here is the relay that's right here. You will notice the logic board that's here. Okay, you see the logic board. This is 120 volts in and out. It supplies the circuitry. And then you'll notice the thermostat that's here. Okay, this tells you how high the water is. In order to judge this water temperature, you have to have a thermometer. For me, I keep all of these water temperatures below 200 degrees. I don't want this to fail and then have a catastrophic failure of at 212 degrees that this thing decides that it's going to go zonkers. That I have a little more time in order to do so. Burner here and then a burner up top. But as you go to do this, you'll notice that this has the thermostat on there itself. And what did I do? Yeah, this is almost, okay. So what else is in here? I was looking for the programming. I don't know if this one is a logic-based one or not. I think so. You have to press two buttons on the front, or I've forgotten how to program this version of it. But it's a fairly simple system. There's a thermostat, there's water in a boiler, okay? Induced water, logic board for a little bit of logic itself, but that's it. That's the logic board. That's all there is. It's a very simple, straightforward, wonderful design that is just great, and it brews a wonderful cup of coffee. So where I keep my temperatures for it when I brew it is at 196 degrees. Why did I choose 196 degrees? Well, the coffee I drink is from Baltimore Coffee and Tea. They told me to run my coffee at 199 degrees, so I just brew it down just a little bit because it gives me a little safety gap itself. So that's where it gives me the best coffee, and then the burner itself will keep it perfectly warm and hot how I want it. So you'll notice on the back of here it also gives you the wiring diagram itself. It gives you all the inspectors themselves. Okay, it tells you how to set the brew time on here, and it's all stainless steel, and you can clean it all up. This one just has a little bit of schwutz on it, and it also gives you the model and serial number of the machine. So let's put this back together, shall we? So that's it. That's all there is to your Bunn CF15 coffee machine itself. It's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Just you got to remember, you got to unplug the thing. If you have any other questions, please put them in the comments down below. I'm sorry it was so long getting back to a lot of you. It's just been kind of nutty. So hopefully this helps out. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to put them in the comments down below. Hopefully this was informative. Hopefully this will help you out. The parts from Bunn are readily available for this machine. There are hundreds of thousands of these machines that are out there that work extraordinarily well. People tend to get rid of them because they either go out of business, or they brew slowly, or that thermistor itself, that cheap, inexpensive thermistor, is not working. And they go, well, we'll just buy a new machine because we need a new machine. But the new machines are based off of this design. Even the original Bunn-O-Matic, the sideways one with the wood grain on it, it's the exact same machine. So it's a bulletproof design. It's a wonderful machine. It brews absolute perfect coffee every time. Once you dial it in with the amount of water it needs and the temperature, and it's super stable all the time. So hopefully this helps you out. If you're new to the channel, please hit the little buttons down below, the subscribe and the button thingy or whatever it is, and we'll talk to you later. Thanks. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.